Hello students, I am Dr. Meenakshi Mahur, Assistant Professor, Zoology, Sri Samplaji Government College, Mandviya, Chittorgarh. Today my topic is hydrological cycle or water cycle. It is one of the biogeochemical cycles. What is water cycle or hydrological cycle? So it is a complex and interrelated system. It involves the movement of atmospheric surface, that is both marine and fresh, and groundwater throughout various regions of the world, and it describes the storage and movement of water between the biosphere, atmosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere. The hydrological cycle or water cycle refers to the process whereby water gets converted from its liquid or solid state into its vapor state. In the hydrological cycle, oxygen and hydrogen move in the form of water molecule, and this movement is called global water cycle. In hydrological cycle, there are four main stages. They are evaporation, condensation, precipitation, underground or surface water, or underground water collection or storage. So these are four stages, and I'll explain these all four stages one by one. So you can see this is a hydrological cycle where you can say this is an ocean, and here evaporation is taking place. This is condensation. Here evapotranspiration. Now you can see here it is a rain or precipitation. There is a snow melt runoff. These are the snow and glaciers, and they are melt runoff. Again, there is a sublimation and condensation, and there is a snowfall. This is groundwater because of percolation, soil moisture, groundwater. So this hydrological cycle comprises of four stages. First is evaporation and evapotranspiration. Second, condensation. Third, precipitation. Here. And fourth, underground or surface water or underground water collection or storage. So first, evaporation. So water is most commonly found in its liquid form in rivers, oceans, streams, and on the earth surface. So this cycle begins with the evaporation of water molecules or water from the surface of the ocean or sea. Here, this is the ocean, and here evaporation of water taking place. Who is responsible for evaporation? That is sun, and the sun drives the water cycle. It heats water in the ocean. Also, ice and snow can sublimate directly into water vapor. This is known as sublimation. Surface water is released into the atmosphere through the process of evapotranspiration through the flora of the earth. Flora means tree or any vegetation, plants. Because plants and trees lose water to the atmosphere in the form of water vapor, and these vapor rises up in the sky, and this process is known as evapotranspiration. So this is evaporation and this is evapotranspiration. Now second stage is condensation. So because of evaporation, moist air or water vapor moves upward. Then when it moves up, the air gets cooled down because of the low temperature here. And what does take place? condensation of water vapor occurs. And condensation of water vapor is responsible for the formation of cloud. So you can see cloud formation because of the condensation. Now next step is precipitation. The moisture is transported along the globe until it returns to the surface as precipitation. So air current moves cloud around the globe and the cloud particle collide, grow and fall down as a precipitation. Some precipitation falls as a snow and can accumulate as ice caps and glaciers, which can store frozen water for thousands of years in the form of glaciers. So this is about precipitation. Now underground water or surface water or underground water collection or storage. So after reaching the surface as precipitation, some of the water may evaporate back where into the atmosphere and some water runs off into the ocean, river or ground surface and some water soaks into the ground as a infiltration. So here you can see this is a lake and from here water is moving towards the ocean and the water on the surface is also moving towards ocean or lake or any stream by through runoff. Now infiltration. So the water that infiltrates deep into the ground becomes groundwater. So this is the layer of groundwater. Groundwater also flow. So this groundwater replenishes aquifers. What are aquifers? Aquifers, saturated subsurface rock. And this groundwater store huge amount of fresh water for long periods of time. So what is infiltration? Infiltration is the physical process which involves movement of water through the boundary area where the atmosphere interface with the soil. So here, this is infiltration. So the surface phenomena is governed by this infiltration is governed by soil surface condition. Water transfer is related to the porosity of soil and the permeability of the soil profile. If it is more porous, then water transfer is fast, but it is less porous, then water transfer is slow. The groundwater either seeps its way into the ocean, river, and stream, or is released back into the atmosphere through evapotranspiration. How? This groundwater is taken by the plants, and from plants, evapotranspiration takes place. So, the groundwater is released back into the atmosphere through the process of evapotranspiration. Now, through surface runoff, the remaining surface water reaches to the lakes, river stream, or any water body. And this water finally reaches to the ocean, where the hydrological cycle begins again through evaporation. So, this is the hydrological cycle. Now, again repeating, this hydrological cycle is the process where water gets converted from its liquid or solid state into its vapor state. It comprises of 4 stages. First is evaporation, second is condensation, third is precipitation, and fourth is underground or surface water collection or storage. So, It starts with evaporation because of the heating of the sun. After evaporation, the vapor moves up, and because of the low temperature, the atmosphere or upper layer of atmosphere, it gets cooled down, and the process called condensation takes place, which is responsible for the formation of cloud. Now, after condensation, the moisture is transported over all around the globe, and it again moves down in the form of rain or snowfall. The rainwater collects on earth or on the surface of the earth in water bodies like lake, stream, or even at the surface. And the snow is accumulated in the form of glaciers. So this is precipitation. After reaching the surface as precipitation, some of the water evaporates back into the atmosphere, some water runs off into the water bodies like river, ground surface, ocean, and some water soaks into the ground as infiltration. So groundwater moves towards the ocean, river, stream, or it can also release back into the atmosphere through the evapotranspiration. And through surface runoff, the remaining surface water reaches to the water bodies like lake, river, stream, and the water finally ultimately reaches to the ocean where the hydrological cycle starts again. So you can see over here the storage and movement of water occurs between the biosphere, atmosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere. And in this cycle, oxygen and hydrogen is moving in the form of water molecule. And this movement is also known as global water cycle. The hydrological cycle is one of the very important biogeochemical cycles because water is the most essential thing for the living and non-living, especially living things, for plants, for animals, and it is a complex and interrelated system. So it is very important cycle. It is a very important biogeochemical cycle. Thank you.